Good afternoon. We continue this afternoon's press conference. We have head coach Pascal Jansen. If we have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll get started in the room. Alex.
Hi, Coach. My question for you this week is, after a tough result, what do you tell the guys to help them turn the page to the next match, especially for a week like this week and next week when you also have a midweek match?
Well, the schedule is tough. You have a lot of games in a short period of time, so that's always a good thing, especially when you're coming off a bad result like we were from last Saturday. So the focus has to go to that game, obviously, as fast as possible. But the difference is, compared to like the game we played in Vancouver, we didn't play well. And last Saturday against Charlotte, we played well. We played a good game. Was a tough result, but game-wise, strategy-wise, game style-wise, or play style-wise, it was a good game from our side. But unfortunately, not good enough. But it's something that helps you go forward into the next sequence of games.
Thank you.
On to the Zoom. We'll go with Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lee with New York Soccer Journal. Thank you for the time.
You're welcome, Andrew.
After the game Saturday, you mentioned the quality of finishing was one of the things that kind of held you guys back. Is that something that you can address directly as you prepare, and how do you kind of look at fixing that, knowing that it's something that's kind of cropped up like during this streak of winless games in MLS?
The chances we miss, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, the finishing.
No, the finishing was a topic in the previous game in Charlotte. It hasn't been a topic in the games before Charlotte. As I mentioned to your colleague just now, the game in Vancouver was an overall below our standards game. The game against Miami, I think, was a game itself with not a lot of chances, but the game against St. Louis and the game against Charlotte, that was creating a lot of moments in order to score a goal. But decision making in the final third is part of the story, and the quality of finishing. But overall, we can be pretty satisfied, I think, scoring 15 goals in the first 8 games. We all know we want more goals, but to make it bigger than what you're suggesting is a little bit too far, if you ask me.
Michael Allen.
Hi, Coach. Michael Allen from Post International on Blue City Radio.
Hi,
Thanks for
Michael.
the time.
Yes.
Just the recent form at home lately, you've gotten 1 point out of a possible 9 at home in the last few games. Does this game against Cincy coming up, is it sort of a must-win for the team? Do you feel added pressure to get a result at home because of the prior losses?
No, there's no the pressure is not different than any other moment in the league. We want to win our games every time. So coming off a streak like we've discussed a few times now with some tough opponents, it's always a good moment to get a better result. For us, there's no difference in getting a good result at home or away. We just want to win every game, and we don't make any exception of a home game or an away game.
Glenn. All right, we'll go with Andrew.
Hey, you mentioned recently that Andres Perea is getting closer to a return. I was wondering if you could discuss like how his reintegration might look and how soon we might expect it. And it also seems like you have maybe more options even than last year in the midfield, knowing you've had people come in and play in that spot. So is that just a nice problem to have, or do you foresee some difficult choices once he's back to fitness?
No, we don't have more options. I think if you consider Justin Haak as a possible player to play in midfield, that was one option, but he played in the back four most of his games. Pep came into the team at some point last season, but we lost Keats. So looking at this season, it's not like we have more options. It's just about the same because Kai came in for Justin. Pep got injured, unfortunately, and is now on his way back. We still have Johnny Shore. So the options are pretty much the same. Looking at Pepe, he's close. He's training full intensity with the team again. Obviously, we have to take care of the rest of the players with the multiple games that we have scheduled. So we try to be very creative in order to give him what he needs to get as close as he can could be to the team, and that is something that he's working really hard on. He's very close at the moment, and we have to be very creative in order to give him his minutes to full fitness again. But like I mentioned a couple of times already, he's very close, and we just have to be patient and respect the injury that he's had in order to get him ready to play again.
We'll go with Glenn.
Hey, Pascal, this is not a soccer question. I do want to acknowledge Andrew's on the call along with Mark, and maybe Matthew's helping out too. And this is not something that you're necessarily going to be strictly in tune to, but they've started New York Soccer Journal after Hudson River Blue folded, kind of unexpectedly, pulled the kind of rug from underneath them. And I just want to applaud them. And I know Esteban and Gabby appreciate everybody that's on the call, like a Michael Lewis and a Christian Arnold as well, along with everybody else that's been on consistently. But I just want you to know that those boys in particular are putting in a lot of work that on their own to get this thing back going again. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Point taken. I wasn't aware of that, but I believe what you say, Glenn.
Thank you. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
We'll go with Michael Allen.
Yeah, I'll second what Glenn just said there too. I just wanted to see if there was any updates on like any injury updates. And the second part of the question is, you've said several times that Talis Magno needs to get to, he knows where he needs to be as far as progress of starting and getting more minutes. How satisfied with you are in this progress that he's been making?
I'm satisfied. He's making as much progress as he could do at this time. But I've also mentioned a couple of times already, he's in competition with some good players up front with the attacking position. So that is something that you have to take in account, and that is something that we will do throughout the week. We see everybody train and try to get the best out of him in order to be ready to play. So there's a few factors, and he's close to closing that gap with the things that we addressed and spoke about when he returned to New York. So I'm fully confident that he will get his play time and be important for us down the line.
Anyone else? Great. Thank you, everybody.